Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Sarame and welcome to another episode of Phenomenal Motherhood. And on today's episode, I have a South African lady who is currently working and living in China. She is a mother of one and she left South Africa in 2019 for greener pastures. And I mean, we all know the unemployment rate in South Africa, how difficult it is to get a job. Now she got a job abroad in China and she left her son behind. So on this episode, we are going to be discussing how she navigates motherhood from the other side of the world. Let's get right into it. This is Phenomenal Motherhood, where we discover, discuss, debunk, and celebrate motherhood. Miss Love Loretta Antoinette, how are you doing? Madame Wapo China. How are you doing? Welcome to Phenomenal Motherhood. I'm so happy to have you here. How are you doing?
Hi, Sarah May. I'm good, and I'm happy to be part of the Phenomenal Mothers in this platform. I'm good. I can't complain.
Okay. Now, in the intro, I was just telling them, Hori, you are based in China and you're South African, obviously, and you left your son here in South Africa, while you go to China to work, right? And we're going to be talking more about that in this video. But before we get right into it, please first take us through, your family dynamics, your childhood, how you grew up. How was your childhood, basically?
I come from a family of 4, which is my mom and my dad, my little sister, and me. So I'm the firstborn.
Okay.
And our family, we were just like a family of 4, just like any other family. Growing up, I was like a bubbly little girl who was liked by almost everyone in my community. So yeah, that's all I can say about my childhood.
Okay, interesting. And you grew up in Pretoria, right?
Yes, I grew up in Pretoria. I was born in Mpumalanga, Bushbuck Ridge. My mom is from a young village called Kraskop, but when I was 5, I moved to Pretoria. So I literally grew up in Pretoria. And so,
Okay. Yeah. And I'm interested to know, right, growing up, was it always been like a dream for you that one day I want to leave South Africa?
Nah, I don't want to lie. I never thought about it. Never.
Okay. All right, now you are grown up and you find yourself in China. Okay. How was your life like in South Africa before you relocated to China?
Life before I relocated to China was very hard for me. For people outside, they didn't know that life was hard for me because they see you looking good, not looking like your problem. They think everything is all rosy. But life was really hard for me. Before leaving China, I was living with my partner and with our child also. So it was just a family of 3. We were struggling, but not so bad. But having to like leave for bills, paying bills. After you sort out your bills, you're literally broke, and now you have to work for next month, and it's like a routine every time. I got tired of that. And that's when I decided, nah, man, this is not worth it. And I was like, I'm leaving.
Wow. So the main reason why you left is just for a better future, to enhance your financial stability as well, for yourself and for your family, right? Now, you are in China and your son is here in South Africa. What was the main reason why you decided to leave him behind in South Africa? And how old was he when you left?
When I left, my son was 3 years old, going to 4, right? So that was in 2019. And I remember when I applied for this job that for when I applied for my previous job, they told me to bring my son because I did tell them during the interview that I have a son and I actually have a family. I have my hubby here and I have my son with me, but I'm not sure if I can bring them to China with me. And they said, oh, you can bring them. You can bring your son. You can bring your hubby. But for me, I was scared. I was like, how do I bring my son to a place that I don't even know? I don't even know
You've
how
never
it's
been
like
to
living
China
in China.
before, yeah.
You know, I've
Yeah.
never been to China, even though before making the decision of coming to China, I did a lot of research, but
Yes,
I
yes.
didn't actually research about mothers in China, like foreign mothers in China or anything like that. So I was
Yeah.
really scared, and I was still young back then, and I was thinking,
Yeah.
how do I raise a child in a foreign land and also having to juggle work and also
Yeah.
adjust, because it was a lot for me to adjust kilo one,
Yes.
but so I can't
Yes.
imagine having to adjust the lingwana at the same time. So it
Yeah.
was really,
Yeah.
really hard. So that was the main reason I left him. Because I remember my dad saying, why don't you go with your family? Because I went home to tell my parents about my move. And my dad was like,
Yeah.
I had like, I think it was an invitation letter, and on that invitation
Okay.
letter they were inviting me to come, and my dad was
Yeah.
like, how come your family is not in this paper? And I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not ready to bring Shay. Shay is my son. I was like, I'm not ready to bring him yet because I don't know what I'm gonna deal with that side. So I know that South Africa, my mom is here. She's gonna take good care of him. So I just decided to leave him until I'm sure that it's okay, it's the right place for me to raise my son, and then I can bring him this side.
Okay, okay, wow. And you're talking about you telling your dad about the invitation you got from China. How did your family receive it that I'm relocating to China? How did your family receive it? Your friends receive it? Because I'm just thinking about myself that my family would be so devastated if I dare tell them that I'm moving from South Africa. How did your family receive it? Yeah.
Surprisingly, with my parents, they took it very well. Like, my
Mm,
mom is so chilled. So my mom was like, oh, okay, that'll be great. So I explained to her
wow.
why I need to go to China. So my mom
Mm-hmm.
was so understanding, but I was scared of my dad. I was still scared of telling my dad. So my dad was the last
Person you
person I
told.
told. I actually told
Mm.
my dad 2 weeks before Kitsamaya, like 2 weeks before
I'm
the due
serious.
date. Yeah, because I
Wow.
was really scared of what he's gonna
Mm.
say.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
when I did tell him, he was very chilled. With
Mm.
friends, with my friends, I told them lebona ka di last minute. I told almost everyone ka di last minute. Only my
Yeah,
mom and my partner knew about my move,
yeah.
but I didn't tell a lot of people. And when they found out, they were happy for me. But other people, they were like, "Oh, Anto, are you not scared of human trafficking? Are you not scared of um organ harvest, but they'll
Yeah, yeah.
kidnap or they'll do horrible things to you." I was like, nah, man,
You
I'm
did
not
not think of
scared.
that though, because that's actually a
i
real thing, right?
I didn't think about it until I got to China,
I'm
until
serious.
I got here, and I was like, because when I got here, my colleague came to fetch me at the airport, and we got into a bus, and that bus
Mm-hmm.
was driving for 4 hours, and I'm like, Mara Anto,
Wow.
what if payo bulaya? Like, you don't even know who you are, like,
Oh
you
my
don't have a
goodness.
SIM card, you can't even talk to your family, like.
Wow.
Like, that's when I thought about it. I was like,
Mm.
but I
You
decided
can't
to be
even speak
strong. I'm
their
like,
language. Oh my goodness.
yeah, but I was like, it is what it is. I'm already here. If they do anything,
Yeah,
let them do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and when you arrived there, you mentioned that a colleague came to fetch you. So, did you know anybody there? Did you connect with any South Africans in China? Did you have friends there, family? Who did you know?
I didn't know anyone. I
Wow.
didn't know anyone actually. I
Mm,
didn't know anyone. I didn't have anyone's contact in China. I wasn't talking to anyone even on Facebook.
wow.
But before coming, I remember when I was busy in the process of fixing my applications and stuff,
Yeah.
I saw Simply Merica also doing the
Oh,
same,
yes, yes,
but
yes.
she was going to South Korea.
Oh, you guys left at the same
And
time?
no, I think she
Okay.
left around June and I left in
Okay.
September 2019. So when
Yes.
she left and Africa, Abasha, everything was okay for her and she was
Yes.
showing us on YouTube, I was like, no, if she can do it, I can do it too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I only started looking for friends or trying to
Mhm.
connect with people that are in China when I got here on Facebook.
Yeah, yeah, no, I must commend social media people or YouTubers that have traveled or moved out of South Africa. Their content, they just make everything so easy and, achievable. Because when you see someone that
Yeah.
looks like you achieve something in a different country, you're like, no, man, I can also do it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true. That's
yeah.
true.
No, it's
So they should
absolutely
keep
beautiful.
on showing us,
They
they
should,
should
you
keep
should
on
do the same,
documenting for us.
honey.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
No, I do love your vlogs on YouTube. By the way, guys, if you're watching, please do know that Anto has got a YouTube channel. You guys can catch her on YouTube. I'm gonna link all her YouTube links, her channel in the description box. Please check her out. Her channel is amazing. Okay, you're literally gonna live
Yay.
through China. I mean, you're gonna live in China through her. Okay.
Yes,
Okay, now
guys, please
Anto,
subscribe.
please subscribe to her channel. Right. Anto, now you moved to China. What was your top three culture shocks in China? Something that was like so shocking for you.
The first one was the
Mhm.
stares, like the way people stare at foreigners here. It was like,
Mm,
ooh. Because, like, for me, I did a research before coming here, and I did see a lot of people saying, "Oh, black in China. When you're
yeah,
black, people will stare at you. They'll come and touch
yeah.
your hair, do this." But I didn't like know how it feels until I got here, and people started
Wow,
staring at me like, "What's
wow.
going on?" Like,
So
why
the
are you
staring is
black? What's
real.
going on?
Are you serious? Don't they have a lot of black people
Yes,
in
they
China?
literally stare at you, but you get used to it because it's like it happens almost all the time.
Okay,
So they
okay.
literally just stare. Like most people in China, not most, actually some people in China, they have never seen a foreigner. Like especially
Wow.
in those small cities, they have never seen
Mm.
foreigner. So when they do see a foreigner, they like, oh, what's going
Who
on?
is this?
Who's
Wow.
this?
So culture shock number two?
So number two would be the fact that people here they spit. They literally spit
Like
everywhere,
spit
and so
saliva on
disgusting.
the floor.
Like
Ew, that's really disgusting.
it's disgusting. I don't even know
Why
how to
do they do
describe it
that?
because it's so disgusting. Like they pull it out from, like they do, then they spit
Ooh.
everywhere. So literally, even when I go to work, I have to like look down so that I don't step onto anything disgusting. So they
Yeah.
spit a lot.
No, that's
That
really
for me was a
disgusting.
turn-off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now culture shock number three.
Culture shock number three is the fact that when I got here, I was working at a kindergarten, like preschool.
Okay. Okay.
So the kids used to want to lick my skin because they thought I taste like chocolate. They thought what they thought. No, but I
Crazy,
had
are
a
you
skin so
serious?
like a chocolate. So they
They were-
like there was a time I was just sitting and I felt tap. I'm getting wet. What's going on? And when I
ah,
checked, this boy is like, and I'm
ah,
like, what? He's like, chocolate, chocolate. I'm like, oh my God.
that is crazy. Oh my goodness, imagine that. Oh, I know
Yeah,
that is crazy. That is crazy. So
that is
they're not
crazy.
exposed to black people at all.
Nah,
Sure.
they not. They
That's a
not.
lot. That's a lot. Yo,
Yeah. But now,
Okay,
because we have a lot of black foreigners working in China, some people now they're getting used
used
to
to
having
it.
us around.
Yeah.
So they know
Sure.
that, like, we have different people. We have black people, we have
Yeah.
white.
Yeah.
Colored.
Don't they have
So yeah.
don't they have TV where they see black people?
Mm, they do have TV. They do see black people, right?
Mm.
But they're not that exposed to the outside
Oh.
world
Oh,
because,
wow.
yeah, like they're not that exposed to the outside world. Like if you want to connect or see what is happening outside of China, you have
Yeah.
to use a VPN. Without a
Wow.
VPN, you won't know that this is happening. Like for example, wearing a wig for them is like, which is another one of the culture shock. Because for them, they will be like, "Your hair is fake." Like
Are you
they don't get
serious?
it.
How Mara
Like they
with
literally don't
for
get. They
us
don't know
country,
that
what's wrong with
people
them?
outside we put on wigs, even though we buy wigs from China, but they still don't know. Because I remember when I used to change my hair, if I go with my braids, they're gonna ask
Mm.
me, "Is this your hair?" And I'm like, "What is it?" I'm like, "It's fiber." They're like, "Huh?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "It's fake." They're like, "Okay." Then I come with another hair. Maybe get like a pop. Same thing
Yeah.
again. Is this your
You,
hair?
you.
No. So every time I have to explain. When I have my natural hair, they'll still ask me, "Is this your hair?" And I have to explain, "Yes, this one is my hair, but this is not my hair." Like it's crazy. So they're not really
Wow.
exposed to
Wow.
the
Wow.
outside world. I think maybe that's why they don't know. I don't know, but I'm just assuming.
Okay, because I know Hore, that you were talking about VPN and whatnot, so you don't have access to Instagram and Facebook and YouTube without the VPN in China, WhatsApp
Yep.
as well. So you need to have
Yep.
a VPN,
You need to have a VPN for you to connect with
the
family and
outside
friends
world.
outside China. Without the VPN, you can't, unless if you have WeChat and they also
Mm.
have WeChat home, then you can talk to them anytime. But without the VPN, no. So you literally have
You
to buy a VPN
do you
and you
buy it in
connect.
China or before you go to China? The VPN.
Back then when I came, you had to buy it outside of China, but now
Oh,
we buy it here in China. So
sure.
now even if you come without a VPN, you can still buy it here.
That's hectic. Now, I want to
Yeah.
know how, since communication is a little bit tricky, right? When did you basically just connect with your son when you arrived in China, and how did you go about it? Was he also old
I
enough to understand that mommy is abroad?
He was very young, and
Mm,
because he had like a speech problem, he started talking
hmm.
very late. So when I
Okay.
left, he wasn't really talking. He didn't really understand that mommy's gone, mommy's far away. He didn't
Yeah,
understand.
yeah,
So only when I got to my apartment,
yeah.
because my previous job they gave me a free apartment. So only when I got there, I had an internet because I didn't have
Nice,
a SIM,
nice.
but I had internet. So
Mm,
I connected to the Wi-Fi, and
yeah.
I called my friend back home. That's when I spoke
Wow,
to him. But that was like maybe after 24 hours,
wow,
like a full
wow.
day.
Mm. But now you've been in China for about 3 years, right?
Yeah,
Three
it's
years, right?
almost 3 years. It's gonna be
Almost
three
3 years.
years on September this year.
Wow, wow. And have you established like a solid communication channel between you and and your son, or is it always a hassle for you to communicate with him or your family back home?
I try to make sure that they have Wi-Fi, they have internet at
Mm,
home, so I
mm,
pay for the internet at home so that
mm.
it's easy for me to communicate with them, especially my son, because I don't want to lose contact with my son. I
Yeah,
try to
yeah.
call him every single day, which means that I have to go to bed very late
Yeah.
because
Oh, time difference as
we are,
well.
yeah, because of the time difference. In China we're
Yeah.
6 hours ahead of South Africa, so whenever I'm back from work, he's still in
Mm,
school. So I have to
mm.
literally just chill and wait for him to come back. Then
Wow.
later I can call him, which means most
Mm,
of the time I go to bed late because I want to talk to my son. It's very
wow.
important for me to keep
Mm,
contact. Because like
contact.
back to
Of
because that
course.
is one of
No,
my
but girl,
biggest fears.
trust
Like
me,
I don't want him to
you won't
forget
forget
me.
you. He won't forget
I
you at
hope so.
all. No, he won't.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you a funny story, right?
Mm,
I remember before I knew I was pregnant, you were
mm.
on, I think, I'm not sure if you know, you were not live. You were posting stories on your Instagram, right? And you know, with pregnancy, there's a
Yeah.
lot of emotions and stuff like that. But I think this was
Mm.
2019. No, no, 2020. It was during lockdown. You were talking
Oh,
about talking to your son on the phone, that if you want to keep him longer on the phone, you actually play, was it Paw Patrol or his favorite cartoon?
Papa
So that
Trust.
Paw Patrol,
Yes,
yes,
Papa Trust.
so that he
Yes.
stays longer on the phone, because I think he was still very young to be able to communicate with you. So for him to stay longer on the video call, you had to play Paw Patrol where you are so that he can watch and you can also watch him. That got me so emotional. I think because, I was pregnant. I didn't know I was pregnant, but I cried so much. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like
Oh
this is
my
so
God.
emotional. I can't even imagine being far away from my son. So I was just imagining,
Uh,
what you were going through at the time. And I want you to take us through, your mental health with being away from your son for such a long time as well. And how are you dealing with it mentally right now?
yeah, it's really hard, Ceramic. It's really
Mm,
hard. Now I'm being
yeah.
emotional from you saying you were emotional.
Sorry.
It's it's really hard. I remember back then I literally had to play Paw Patrols on my laptop and just
Yeah.
put my screen, like my phone, on a tripod so that I can just watch Paw Patrols
Mm,
on my laptop because he didn't understand that, like I miss him, I wanna talk to him. He didn't
yeah.
understand. He wants to
Yeah.
play, he wants to play. And he didn't want to
Mm,
be on the phone for a very long time. So that was the only way to get him to stay on
wow.
the phone for a very long time. But now I thank God that he has grown. Now he's
Mm,
talking.
yeah.
Now we can talk. Even now he doesn't want to talk for a very long time,
Yeah.
unless like he'll be talking to me, then he goes to YouTube, but we are still on call. But he's busy watching
Yeah.
cartoons at the same time on the phone.
Yeah.
But for me, that is fine because
Yeah.
what can I do? Like, if he wants to
Yeah.
watch cartoons and talk to me at the same time, that is still fine. But it's
Yeah.
really, really difficult being away from your child. It's really difficult being
Mm,
away from family. With COVID, with the pandemic, it made everything worse because
words.
not initially
Yeah.
my plan was my plan was that I wanted to bring I was go my plan was that coming to China, then after 6 months I'll go back home and fetch my son and bring him to
Yeah.
China, but that didn't
Yeah.
happen because of COVID.
COVID
So
happened. Yeah.
I just had to be strong and be hopeful. Hooray, they will open borders because currently borders in China are closed for South Africans. So
Yeah.
most South Africans are stuck back home.
Oh,
They
they
can't
can't
come
have.
back.
So it's closed for people that want to go into China.
Yeah,
Right.
the borders are closed for people who want to come to China. There are
Oh.
teachers who went back home during like the winter break,
Mm-hmm.
2020 January,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't come back because the borders are closed, and the borders have been closed
Wow.
since then. So
Wow.
for me, I've been like, it's been really hard because you make plans for, okay,
Mm.
January I'm going home, because I was planning to go
Yeah.
home January 2020, but because his dad was coming over this side, I decided, okay,
Mm.
fine, let me wait I'll go ka June. When
Yeah.
June came, it was already the Nagoyadi pandemic. I couldn't go.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, fine, let me wait and go again ka January 2021. January
Yeah.
2021, same story. Like every time towards Nagoya hore ke tle hae, like
Mm.
the
Something
policy
happened.
in China ya change. Like things are difficult. Like everything is just so difficult. I couldn't high.
Mm.
So at some point, I remember I wanted to drop everything and come back because I was
And
like, I miss my son. I can't do it anymore. Like I
mm.
really can't do it anymore. But thank God I have a very strong support system back home. My
Yeah. Yeah.
mom is very supportive. My sister is very supportive.
Mm.
They've been helping me when it comes to taking care of my son. I know that my son doesn't lack anything. Like my sister
Yeah.
loves him like his own, like her own child.
Mm.
This beautiful bond. My mom
Yeah.
too. Actually, my mom doesn't even want me to come back because when I come back, I told her
Even.
the day I come back, I'm taking my son.
I'm sure she's already
And she's
attached to your
like,
son.
please stay there. Don't take my grandson.
Oh.
So my mom, Abati next, like Abati, she doesn't want
Mm.
me to take him.
Mm.
But because of that, I think that's why I was able to keep Kill Strong. That's why I Kill Strong till today. But
Mm.
for the longest time, I was filtering also. I was trying not to think about, I miss him. I'm trapped here. I
Yeah.
can't go back
Yeah.
home.
Mm.
I was trying so hard not to think about that and just think about the why. Why am I here?
Mm.
Um,
Yes. Yes.
there are
Wow.
things that I need to get done before I go back home. Am I ready now
Yeah.
to go back home? No, I'm not
Yeah.
ready yet to go home. So
Wow.
I've been trying to filter my feelings when it comes to like my son, how I feel about being here,
Mm.
him being
Mm.
right. So for the longest time, I did that. But recently on my birthday, I broke down. Literally,
Oh.
I broke down. Um, I broke down a night before my birthday. My birthday was on the 18th of March, and
Mm.
got in 6:17 in the evening. I
Yeah.
called. It was our normal call. So my mom is like, "Shay, tomorrow is your mom's birthday." So because he's
Mm.
still young, maybe he thought
Yeah.
my birthday was on that day. He started singing for me, and
Oh.
I had a panic attack. Like I started
Wow.
crying. I couldn't stop. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't stop crying.
Mm.
I couldn't breathe. Like I was just a mess.
Yo.
And
Yo.
the next day I went to work and I was trying to be strong and not even show people that I'm going through the most.
Yeah.
Ngiyaboa.
Yeah.
So I
Yo.
went to work, and when I got to work it was the same. My colleagues tried to make something special for me, and they
Mm.
surprised me, and I broke down literally in front of everyone. And they were
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
"What's wrong, Anto?" And I'm like, "I miss my son. I miss my son. I'm
Oh.
tired. I don't want to be here. I'm really, really tired. I miss my son. If only I
Yeah.
could bring him here, I'll be happy, but I miss him." Then I
Yeah.
remember the next day, later, around lunchtime, I came back home. I called my mom and I was like, "Mama, I'm tired. I miss you guys and I miss you." I think my birthday reminded, when it's your birthday, you want to spend time
Yeah.
around
With
people that
family.
loves
Yeah.
you, with family. And for me, that day, it was different for me because I was like, I didn't even understand, why am I crying? Why am I feeling this way? I wanted to stop
Yeah.
crying, but I couldn't stop. I was just a
Mm.
mess.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yo.
I'm really, really happy and I'm really grateful for my parents. My mom,
Yeah.
she's very supportive. My
Mm.
friends, they're very, very supportive also. Um, I have a friend I have this one friend of mine
Mm-hmm.
who's, when I left, I told her that please take care of my kid, take care of my
Yeah.
kid, take care of my sister, like just step up on my shoes, like where I left,
Yeah.
just step and
Yeah, yeah,
take care of them. And she's still doing that. So I'm really, really blessed to have people like that
yeah.
in around
In your
me
life. Yeah, you know,
in my
it's such
life.
a blessing. Family is such a blessing. Good friends is such a blessing as well. I mean, you are so blessed to have a mom that is supportive, a sister that is supportive as well, and you know, just a group of people that are there to step up and say, "Anto, you're not here, but we are here." You know, to be a mother to your
Mm.
son, to be there for him, to make sure that
Yeah,
he doesn't lack anything. You know, I think that's the most
they
beautiful thing ever. But with
they do
saying
that.
that, yeah, with
Mm.
saying that, would you, should the borders open, would you let your son come live with you in China, or would you just rather come back to South Africa?
Should the borders open,
Mm,
I want to bring him here,
okay,
even though
okay.
I'm worried about. Because remember, I said he struggled a lot with speech. He
Yes, yes.
delayed
Mm,
talking, so he recently started talking, and I was thinking, Hore, if what if I bring him here and now he's exposed to Chinese,
oh,
and
like different languages. Mm,
yeah, then he gets so confused again,
mm,
and now it delays him even more because even
mm.
though he's talking now, he's not talking like a 6 year old. He's talking
Yeah,
like a 4 year old. So
yeah, yeah.
I'm really worried about that. But with how I'm feeling now, I'm definitely coming for my son. Once the borders
Mm,
open, I'm coming back home. I'm gonna take him,
yeah,
even if they should give me 2 weeks just to sort everything out. I will do
yeah,
that. Yeah.
sure. Wow. I think that's also a brave step as well. But if I
Yeah.
was in your shoes, I would definitely do the same because at the same time, you don't want to stay in South Africa and you're not getting a job and nothing is moving for you and you're just staying there for the sake of staying there, you know. And whereas when you're in China, you've got opportunities, you know, financial stability for not only yourself but for your son and your family as well. So
Yeah.
if I think for 3 years, you almost 3 years in China, you are stable now, you know the ins and outs. So I think it is the right decision, like you said, to bring your son over to China, just so he can be with his mom again, you know.
Yes. Yes.
But as of now, right? Do you regret moving to China? If you do, why?
Mo- Moving to China was the best decision I've ever
Wow.
made.
Mm,
Like moving here was the best decision I've ever made. I don't
mm.
regret moving. The only thing I regret is leaving my son back home. That is the only thing I
Oh,
regret
yeah,
because hubby came later, and
yeah.
thank God we got stuck here together. I can't even imagine if I
Being stuck
was in China
alone.
alone, you know?
You,
So I'm happy that I'm here and his dad is here. The only thing I regret was leaving him behind.
yeah. But
That is
do
the
you see
only.
yourself coming back to live in South Africa, even though the borders open? Like to come and settle here for good, or do you see yourself never ever living in South Africa?
Nah, I can't say never ever. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm not I'm not ready to come back home yet.
Mm-hmm.
Currently I'm thinking of like after maybe I'll be here for 4, 5, maybe 4 years, 5 years,
Okay.
I'm not sure. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking of moving to other countries
Oh wow. Wow.
before I can go back home like for good.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I'm definitely investing back home. I'm definitely buying
That's
property at
good.
home
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
like I want to go back home and live there later, you know. But for now,
Mm.
maybe after 10 years, I can show. We'll see.
All right. But like you say, it sounds like you have achieved what you wanted to achieve by leaving South Africa. Right? Would you advise anyone in South Africa to leave South Africa for China for better financial
Yeah, of
stability?
course. Yes, I would actually advise people to travel. You know, before I traveled, I didn't even know that South Africans travel, you know? I used to think
Yeah.
Nigerians travel, Zimbabweans travel,
Yeah.
you find
Yeah.
everywhere in the world. But for us South Africans, I always had that thing where us South Africans, we don't travel until I came to
Mm.
China. and there's like a huge community here of South
For South
Africans. Like
African. Are you
South Africans know
serious?
China. Yo. Like
Wow.
literally, there's a lot of South Africans here, and they are all doing well. And
Mm.
like sometimes, like there are cities where you would go and you party, and you feel like you're in South Africa. You literally feel
Are
like
you serious? Wow.
So
Wow.
I will definitely advise South Africans to travel. Like it's worth
Yeah.
it because back
Yeah.
home it's really hard to find a job. Now with COVID,
Mm.
things are worse. And
True. That's very true.
if they can find a job somewhere outside of South Africa, why not travel? It's worth taking the chance.
Okay. And what do you miss most about South Africa? 3 things.
I miss South African food. I miss South African food. Yo, Serame, I miss
Really? I can
South
imagine.
African
Yo, I think I'd miss the food
food.
too, hey?
I miss South African food. You know, with Nigerian food,
Mm.
you can get it anywhere in the world because they're everywhere.
Because
But
they're
for
everywhere.
us, yeah, like getting South African food here is really hard.
Wow. Wow.
It's really hard, and when you do find like things to buy, they're very expensive. Like something that you would buy, for example, back home, ka 50 rand. Here you buy it ka 120. You know, like
Yeah.
you buy it double the price. So things are very
Wow.
expensive. You feel like eating South African food here, but I
Yo.
miss South African food. I miss chicken licken.
Ooh,
Ocean
girl.
basket. Oh my god, I miss South African food, Shem. I won't lie. There's
Okay.
nothing like South African food.
Right. I agree. So it's the food. What else? 3 things. The second one?
Um the second one, I miss walking in the street and
Mm-hmm.
feeling like normal.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Because like being a foreigner in China, you literally feel like you're a celebrity because everybody's turning their heads everywhere you go, you
Wow.
know. At some point, I remember when I just got here, they used to even take pictures, but now
Of you.
yeah, they literally used to
Wow.
take pictures of me like everywhere. Some people will literally like be stealing your pic. They'll be like
Uh-uh.
Maraba busy.
You,
They're snapping you. So I miss that. I miss
you should say, hi,
walking
guys.
in the street
I'm
and feeling
Beyonce.
normal. You know, and also because of the skin, like wabonahala, or you're not
Yeah.
a, it's like you just stand out. You're like one in a million. So I
Wow.
miss feeling normal, walking in the street and check out
Yeah.
all those things.
Yeah.
I miss that. Yeah.
Third thing you miss about South Africa?
Um. What do I miss again? I just miss my friends. I miss family.
Mm.
Friends and family, like literally. I've missed out on a lot of things. I've missed out on birthday parties. I've missed out on
Mm.
baby showers. I've missed out on
Yo.
funerals,
Eh,
like a lot.
Yeah. A
So
lot. Yeah.
yeah, I miss that. Like I miss having to just get into my car and drive to Mpumalanga,
Yeah.
go see my mother, deciding at the last minute, really what are we doing? Like I miss that. I miss
Yeah.
having my friends, my genuine friends,
Yeah.
back home.
Yeah.
Even
Have you
though I
made
do
genuine
have some
friends in
good friends,
China?
yeah.
Is
Yeah,
it?
I have. I've made some new friendships in China. I've met some
Mm.
nice, like good-hearted people here,
Wow.
but it's
Wow.
not the same. Oh, and another thing that I miss
Yeah.
speaking in my language, in my mother tongue, 24/7. Yes, sir.
But now you always have to speak English.
Like you
Can you,
literally get tired. Like
have you
voila.
learned Chinese yet?
Oh yes, I'm learning Chinese. I'm currently learning
Really?
Chinese.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. All right,
yeah.
Anto, we've come to the end of the video, but I want you, right, if your son is watching right now, Just say a little message for him.
Oh my God.
I know we didn't prepare this, but if you had to say anything to your son right now, or if your son just walks in, what's your reaction? What are you gonna say, girl?
I'm gonna squeeze him, literally.
Oh.
I'm gonna squeeze him so tight. Like the other day, I was thinking, Kiriyo, hi, my son, I doubt he will ever even move away from me. Like, utupila ali, because he'll be thinking, Mama tumshia mo. I
Yeah.
can't clear
Oh.
her. But I want to say, if he's watching, I want to say, hey, Shay, hey, Bobo, hey, Olua Shay for me. Hey, Shaywa Mama, I miss you so much and I love you a lot. If you do watch this in future, just know that mommy was doing this for you. I'm doing this for you, and as time goes, you're gonna understand why I had to leave you for so long. I love you
Mm.
so much, and Daddy loves you too so much. We miss you a lot. We miss you. We miss you,
Oh.
and I can't wait to see you and give you endless kisses. Oh yes, I love you,
Oh, so
Shay.
that is so beautiful. That is
I
so
miss him so
beautiful.
much. I miss him like so much. And lately, because he's so grown, he's like, Mama,
Yeah.
you don't want to come fetch me, ne? You don't want to come fetch
Oh.
me. Like it's so hard. It's really hard. I remember there was a time I was at the mall and he called me and he literally thought I was go Wonder Park. And Mama, go
Yo.
Wonder Park. Mama, what
Yo.
to talk from Lata? And I'm like, Shay,
Oh.
I'm very far. I'm not in Wonder Park. I'm in China. Like I'm in
Shame.
China. I'm very
Mm.
far, my boy. Then he'll be like,
Oh.
okay. I'm like, I'm at work, I'm at work. Marakit, oh, one,
Yeah.
I'm okay, mommy. So I really miss
Oh.
him.
Don't worry. Very soon you're going to see him. I believe that. And you're going to reunite with your son. All right, Anto, thank you so much for coming through and sharing your story. It's a beautiful story. I'm really proud of you, and I really need to commend you, for leaving South Africa to China for better, better future, greener pastures. To be honest and to be realistic, unemployment in South Africa is real. We've got a lot of youths that are, going into depression because of unemployment. They're going into drugs because of unemployment, because of depression. Some are in psychiatric hospital because of unemployment, because it's a real thing. It's painful. And for you to take this huge step to say, you know what, I'm doing something about it. I can't find job in South Africa. I'm going to go to China and go and teach English and make money, create financial stability, not only for myself, but for my family as well. For my son to have a better future. I need to commend you for that. You're so brave, honey. You're so brave.
Thank you.
Braver than me. I must say that you're brave. You're brave. And I do know that one day your son will understand that mommy was doing this for me. So don't feel bad and say my son is gonna think I deserted him or anything. No, he will know. He will know that my mom did this sacrifice for me, because you did. And I hope that one day he will also see this video and see the beautiful message that you sent for him. Anto, thank you so much for coming through. I love you so much, and I'm
Thank
praying
you,
for you. I'm
Sarah.
rooting for you. You
I'm
girl,
also rooting for you. I'm really happy
thank you.
with your new content on YouTube. I'm your
Thank you.
subscriber. I'm your number one fan. Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
me on this platform.
Aw, thank you. And yes, guys, thank you so much for joining this video. Don't forget to subscribe and also subscribe to Anto's channel. I'm going to link it in the description box. Please support her channel. And
Yeah.
until next time, bye.
Bye.